Right now in Canada, we have a big problem. We're at a crossroad here. The biggest violation of our Charter of Rights in Canada is taking place right now, and arguably amongst the largest in maybe ever in the free world. Through the bill C10 and also C36 that is going through, it's been passed through the House of Commons and it now needs to go through the Senate to receive royal assent. And if this happens, this is going to change what we know as freedom in Canada. The bills itself are a direct violation of our freedom of expression, our freedom of thought, our freedom of opinion. And this is a moment where how we respond can change the future of what we know as Canada today. If these laws get passed, we are going to see cancel culture taken to a whole new level. I posted about this earlier this week, and I'm going to say it here. This is a time, my friend, fellow Canadian, that I urge you to not outsource your trust. And this is a time that you're not outsourcing to the government, to the mainstream media, even to people that you know or other people's opinions. This is a time for you to do the work, do your research, go and read these bills. Go read C10, go read C36, go listen to the MPs who are speaking up in the House of Commons to fight for you, whether they're representing your riding or not. More importantly, you should see what the MP is doing in your riding and how they're representing us on this issue. But this is a time, guys, to really do the work and to not outsource your trust, because when you understand the weight of what will happen if these bills are passed, this does cause and warrants for all of us to be standing up and speaking up. This should take precedence above anything else, because without our freedom of speech, without our freedom of expression, without our freedom of thought, what is the point? We have no freedom if we don't have these fundamentals, and they're in our charter and they're being violated right now. And we are at a major crossroad in Canada. This is a call to defend our freedom, like so many men and women that have gone before us, who have given their lives so that we would have these basic fundamentals of freedom, and they're being violated right now in our country. Without these, we become basically a robotic existence here in Canada, where we are going to be forced to think, do, and say based on what the government deems that we're allowed to speak on, what we're allowed to share on, what our thoughts are supposed to be. And in a democracy, none of that is ever okay at all. And this is being contemplated right now in our government. And it's already passed through the House of Commons. This is now going through the Senate. So this is a really important time. We are at a crossroad right now. For those of you who don't know about C10 or C36, basically, just to give you kind of like simple terms, C10 is to take regulatory control over the internet. And the Heritage Minister came on today to say, don't worry, we're not going to be regulating content that is uploaded to social media platforms. They said that they're going to, they haven't done it yet, make amendments to this bill, because I guess some people have started to make an uproar. The Conservatives as well in the House do not agree with what is going on with this bill. They haven't said what the amendments are going to be or when. They've just put out into the media today to say, don't worry, we're going to make amendments. So we need to pay attention for that. Bill C36 is a whole other beast, if you will, wrapped around the word hate speech, and you can go and read it yourself. It's defining hate as the emotion that involves detestation or vilification that is stronger than dislike or disdain. Kind of vague, leaves a lot of room to open to interpretation. And again, you know, we're amending the criminal code based on an emotion. At this point, it's not even an action. Go and read the bill for yourself. I'm not going to get into it here. But there are all kinds of complications with this bill, that somebody could make a secret complaint basically against you. You will never know who made that complaint, but you could be subject to a fine and or imprisonment. They're talking about 12 months in jail. Guys, this fundamentally comes down that whenever you employ censorship, you are moving closer to a dictatorship. Whether I like what you have to say, whether I agree with what you have to say, whether I think it's offensive, all of this type of speech is necessary in order to call it a democracy, in order to say that you actually have freedom of speech, you have freedom of opinion, you have freedom of thought. Otherwise, we're a bunch of robots saying the same thing and we all have the same opinion. Canadian, my fellow Canadian, we are at a crossroad right now. History is recording how we are going to respond. And based on how we respond is going to dictate the future and the freedoms in our future that we are going to have available to us. This is a time to use your voice. This is a time to do the research. Use your social media platforms. Speak with your friends and family. The easiest thing that you can do simply right now is make people aware. Go to stopc36.com, sign the petition. I'm going to link up some MPs that I would highly recommend that you follow. Give them encouragement, give them love. They are the ones that are standing up in the House of Commons, fighting for you and fighting for me and our freedom and the future of Canada. Call your MP. Call them. You can easily Google, how do I find my MP? You'll put in your postal code. You will find their information. You will have their email and you have their phone number to their office. Call them and email them. By law, guys, they have to respond to a civilian. We are the ones that elected them there. Remember, they work for us. Our tax dollars pays them. Our voice and our votes have elected them. They have a legal responsibility to respond to you. So call your MP, write your MP, and ask them if they voted, how they voted for C10 and C36. And if they voted yes, you should be asking them, how is it that they voted for something that is a direct violation against our Charter of Rights? It's a violation of freedom of speech, violation of freedom of thought. It's a violation of freedom of opinion. And how did they vote against that? Or how did they vote for that? How are they not voting for us? And any politician who has supported Bill C10 or C36 personally should be resigning from office. And that's something I think that we should be calling on next, is to demand for their resignation. Lastly, if you're still watching and you're still with me, thank you for staying with me this long. This is important. And I want to invite you to participate in a campaign that my sister-in-law's brother, Josh, is putting out into Canada, into the universe, to call on Canadians with the embarking of July 1st. Canada's birthday is coming up, and bringing Canadians together, uniting us with zero judgment, in all love, regardless of what your position is on policy, on politics, on ideas, on medical issues going on right now, regardless of what it is, what our opinions are. They will not matter if these bills go through. And all that matters is our freedom and for us to unite together. So we need to put these aside, come together in love and unite. He's going to be displaying, and I'll share his video as well. You'll be able to see it on my stories. And I'll post it in my IGTV as well. And he's going to do a heart that he's cut out to create. You can do this super easy at home with just a piece of paper, put some tape on, put a pin on, to wear it out in public as an outward symbol that we are loving forward, that we are loving on one another, and we need to come together in love and love each other for freedom's sake. This is what we need to be doing right now. The future of our country depends on it. And so let's come together, guys, and let's make Canada free again.